Hi everybody, I'm back with part 2 of the Nano quadcopter external antenna mod, and I already have an update on part 1. I visited the forum while I was on break, and it seems that the optimal antenna length is 31.5 millimeters, which is a millimeter short than I had said. And then the last one, which is no big deal, probably not real significant. So I already remarked my marks, and we'll go ahead and cut another length of wire. 31.5. I lost the old piece anyway, so I really need to cut another piece. Boy, this really is good wire. It'd be good on a banjo. Okay, so where we're at is I put a little blob of solder there on the corner of those two components, and some of you may have steady enough hands to get that this piece of wire soldered on there without using a holder. But I just don't even try anymore. Not as young as I used to be, I guess, or something. But what I'm going to do is position it right where I need it and solder it on. So we should tin the tip of the wire. That always helps to make a quick, nice solder on everything. Is to it's called pre-tinning. You're putting solder on your metal surface in preparation to join with the other metal surface that already is pre-tinned also, and it just melts together really fast. So there, I think my soldering gun is heated up, and I'm going to go ahead and tin the end of this wire. Just kind of get a little just right on the end. That's about really all I need to do. I don't want to run it up too much. Okay, and now here comes the key to position this guy just exactly where I need it. A little clumsy here. Now I'm just going to have a little down force, I guess. A little side force so when it does melt. Let's see, I'm a little too much in there. It's really hard to tell. I gotta check with magnifying glass. That doesn't look too bad right there. I'll go with that. Clean your tip. Always clean your tip. It's the key to good soldering. It's a good tip. And I'm going to do it under the magnifying glass. So, sorry. There. I hope that it's a little bit more of a blob than I got on the last time. Let me see how close I can get with the camera. But it's on there. Oh, that's such a terrible camera. I'm sorry, you guys. But anyway, I'll show better pictures on RCG. So, I usually do some continuity testing to make sure the solder didn't overflow into other circuits. Usually I just will test one end of the component that I soldered on, and then test its other end and make sure that we don't have continuity. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now before I completely put it together. Okay, so test here. It's continuity. The other side. Okay, I'm not sure if it's a... These are, I believe, diodes, so they will pass current one way and not the other. So I think that's why it's beeping there, and it looks good. So I'm gonna go with it. I think I'm going with the right direction of travel with the current. I'm really not an electronics tech by any means. Just a guy who learned how to solder a bit. Now I'm pushing the wire into position. Let's get that out of the way. Now we want to get it right, popping up in the center and without touching any other metal, any other components. And this wire is really good wire. I like this wire. It'll probably last forever, probably outlast the copter. The other wire I used was from a just a twist tie, you know, for a sandwich bag, stripped back. So it'll probably start corroding. I mean, it's working great, so I'm not too worried about it. So we need to drill a hole in the top of the cover here. So I've got a little pin vise with a drill bit in it. So the wire size is 0.4. This drill bit is like 0.6. So just made it not too much bigger, but still a little bigger. So I just drill away. Get it right in the center. Or you know, you could put it really in the rear a little bit, or side or front, wherever you want, I guess. But I put it right in the middle. So clean your hole out a little bit, get all the extra plastic out. And we got to put a blob of the liquid electrical tape right here. Showed some pictures online of the first one. I'll show some more of this one. This one is sticking up. Wire is not laying as close to the board as the other one. I'm going to try to get it a little bit closer, but that's not so crucial, I guess. I don't want to damage anything. Just make sure it's not touching in the middle, and then just put a blob of the liquid electrical tape right there where that little group of components are, to insulate the components and to help hold it, give it more support onto the board. Just like that. How's that showing up? Yeah, this camera. Excuse me, guys. New camera is on the way, especially if I'm going to be doing more. Well, not on the way, but in the future. I had a nice camera, but don't have a nice one anymore. So now we're ready to put the top through. Alright, you guys could probably let the glue dry, but for expedience, I'm just going to go ahead and pop the wire through. Come on, wire, pop through. There we go. So now we have the top on. Then we can flip it over. I don't know why I moved this. I probably should have left it there. And start putting the rest of it together. And get the bottom in the right orientation. is really something, I guess, that needs to be done in your hand or the other holder, and I got the top in the wrong direction, so bear with me. I don't do many retakes. You gotta see me stumble through this a little. But it's just going together. Yeah, and I think I got the bottom in the wrong orientation too. There we go. Now it wants to go together much nicer. Make sure you don't have any of the wires getting caught underneath these little motor pedestals or studs. And there, it's on there, and we can go ahead and put some screws in now. Here are all the screws and the guards. I like to magnetize my tip a little bit. It makes it so much easier. Just rub it on a magnet for a little. Doesn't really work too well on stainless steel screws, but alright, there we go. I guess I'm back in the picture now. Sorry guys. Okay. I'm gonna fold my well, hey, here we go. Why don't we do this? There's a nice little way to hold the quad while I get the screws in. Just came up with that right now. I'm gonna just drop another one in the hole. But my tweezers are magnetized, so kinda makes that difficult. Normally I take a little bit more care and patience doing this, but when you're making a video, you don't want to take too long. Already taking too long. Hopefully not boring too many people. But this is a very, very worthwhile mod. I mean, it just made it into a quad that I want to fly. I'm able to fly that. And once you get a little bit more experience, you want to take it some distance. Now I'm not going to put the guards back on for me. I live a little wild and dangerous, I guess. It does fly good with guards on. This is probably the best guard setup I've seen because of the screw and the way they have the guards around. I've seen the other ones they're showing online that have the same looking guards as these, but they're using clips on the end or another fashion on the body, and then the guards are just clipped on also. Haven't seen too many that are actually screwed on, and those other ones usually pop off or are inadequate, and a lot of them don't fly worth a darn. The performance is really bad with the guards on, but this one flies really good. But when you take the guards off, you've got close to CX-10 power. Not quite. I mean, a good red board, a nice fresh one with all the motors 100%, no motors lagging. You know, this CX-10's got they're pretty punchy. Suckers will take off on you really quick. Well, this one doesn't have quite that kind of quickness, but it is really fun without the blades off. I mean, it's quick enough. You know, and it can get away from you too. There we go, we're together. So what I'm going to do next is give the antenna a nice 45-degree bend. Am I still in the picture? Keep getting out of the picture. Right about there. Okay. And I can work on getting it more perfectly aligned. But there, that's about it. One last thing that I did to the first one that I would like to do to this one, and that is put a blob of this liquid silicone right there in the middle hole with the antenna, and that would reduce vibration from the antenna wanting to wobble around in the hole and keep it secure. There it is. It's all done but the props and the testing, so I'm going to go ahead and end now. I'm going to make a vid of flight with it, and I've got a couple more that are still in stock. I got green and red that I'm going to do next, but I'm going to try to do a flight vid tomorrow of the comparison with the range with them, and you'll just be surprised. It's so drastic. But there you have it. Thanks for watching. See you guys.